We are back. Wrestle Dynasty, kind of a shit show.
Anyways, yes, it was kind of a shit show.
So, Wrestle Dynasty, Finlay and Brody King had a good match.
It was a good match.
Brody King is very much he's kind of this sleeper guy.
Is, yeah.
He's a good big guy.
He's a good big guy.
He's a good big guy. I like his gimmick.
Yep.
He has a look that really works for him.
It's very, the presentation is very well done.
Yep, exactly. And it's just great. It's awesome to see. And Finlay winning the match was the right call.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to win at some point in time during the show and to get his momentum back. Because they're probably going to do a rematch between him and Shota at, I'm going to assume, New Beginning in Osaka.
Who knows?
But, I think with this show and with Wrestle Kingdom, I think we might get back into a regular rotation depending on the card.
How things go,
Yep.
right.
The one thing I really liked about this, number one, the match was good. I liked the match. But number two, the story is done so well, where you have the association with a young Shota and Jon Moxley. Shota wants to wrestle Moxley. Moxley does not want to wrestle Shota, so he gets Claudio, who's part of the Death Riders faction. A lot of this just really worked, and they're telling a good story, and also it's a nice slow burn.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes you can be a little quick about it, but New Japan are pulling back. They're like, we can get Shota and Claudio, Pac,
Wheeler
Yuta. Am I missing somebody?
No. The only other person is
No, there's another person. He's one of the six. One of the people with the 6-person tag, the trios belts.
Yeah, Claudio, Pac.
Moxley is the AEW World Champion, so it's not him.
Yeah, and then we talked about
who is it?
Wheeler Yuta.
We already said Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I know, but those are the 3, I think.
No, there are 4. So there is Marina Shafir is their manager.
I don't know the 4th one.
Oh my god, that's gonna bug me immensely.
I might be stupid, but
no, I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. Filibuster while I look this up.
Tomohiro Ishii looks like a mini fridge.
He does. He can barely move. But I did like this match. The one thing that I really like about I think the never open weight division needs back these heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Because that's what this division was built on.
I still don't like that, again, this way too many slaps and stuff. It's like, okay, come on, people.
Right.
Did you figure it out yet?
No, you are right. It's Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, and Pac.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought there was another person.
Yeah, I'm like, are you an idiot?
No, that is 3 people. Yeah. Apparently, Tiger Height does not know how to count.
He doesn't know how to count. He needs to go back and watch some Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about this match. It turns out it was Konosuke Takeshita, I think, who was in this match.
Yes, it was Konosuke. He won. He had defended both belts.
And then he won.
Yes, he won this match, and it was a good match. Heavy hitting. We need that back in the never open weight. Tomohiro Ishii, I don't know what he's doing in AEW, but he needs to come back and be part of this. Yeah, he has to. Like, seriously. This match was a good match. It was passable. It was kind of thrown away.
It was a throwaway match.
But I did like it.
Yeah.
It was passable for what it was.
Yep.
But, trying to compare the Shota David Finlay match to this match, obviously there has to be one that's bad.
Yeah, there has to be one that's bad.
Yep. This was awesome. The match itself was good. The story was awesome.
Kenny looked like he didn't skip a beat.
I know. He looked great. This is what happens when you give yourself some time to heal. Omega's, he's a workhorse. He really is. But sometimes your body has to sort of get itself back together.
Like, he eats and breathes pro wrestling.
Yep. And he felt like a special attraction.
Yeah.
He still feels like a big deal here in New Japan.
And he should be treated as a special attraction going forward.
And Gabe Kidd looks so different. He's such a standout from everybody else right now. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He is a really good wrestler, very unhinged on social media, but that's part of the gimmick. I like it. And it was just a really good back and forth match. Bloody, very brutal, which needed to happen, which I liked. and Kenny Omega won. Am I thrilled about it? Not necessarily.
But Kenny needed his win for his first match back in a year.
But Gabe Kidd was not buried in any way, shape, or form. It was a very hard-hitting match.
Mhm.
He had to put in the work for it. And this, begrudgingly, was a fun match. Now, the ending was weird, but I liked it because Ricochet gave up like a bitch, and it made me happy. I don't know why I have such... It's like he owes me money or something.
I know. Like, God damn.
Like my sheer hatred for him. But somebody needs to write me like a really good fanfic of me just brutally killing Ricochet.
Oh my God. Are you allowed to say that on YouTube?
After the minute mark, yes. I can say literally whatever I want. Well, I'm not going to do that. But yes, Ricochet is a bitch, but this, once again, begrudgingly was a fun match. It was
a fun match. It was, because I love it when Ricochet gets beat up like a child.
Yes, and also he tapped out, which made it even better. But man, Zack Sabre Jr., I love how he goes from submission to submission to submission, just as time goes on, and I love that. It just gets more brutal and more brutal and more brutal. It's so good. That's why I love Zack Sabre Jr. I just don't see people do submissions like that.
No.
Where he starts off with a Rings of Saturn, then a move where he's bending this.
Yeah.
Then he's using the foot, and it's like more and more and more.
Right.
And it's like, that looks like it hurts.
Right.
It's like, I would tap out to that.
Right.
It's just good stuff. That's good in-ring psychology from Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
And I hope he stays with New Japan for a while.
Yeah.
Don't be tempted by the Tony Khan money. Reputation is everything, and look at Ricochet's reputation.
Right. His reputation is in the shitter. Like, he hasn't even been in the company for a month.
Exactly. It's just like Mercedes Moné. Sure, you're making a lot of money, but there's one thing you can never get back, and that's your reputation.
Yeah.
And your reputation is dying right now.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
We will, because they are part of the negatives.
Yay!
And let's go into negatives. The Lucha Gauntlet match.
What the hell was this?
It was fucking lame. That's what it was. Taiji Ishimori pinned El Desperado, so I guess he's the new contender. I think
nobody cares.
Well, the problem is, I think Desperado was supposed to win this match, but because of the Doki injury, they had to make an adjustment. So it's like Taiji Ishimori is a safe heel junior heavyweight,
I guess.
Yep. So that's sort of where we are. I don't know the extent of Doki's injury.
I don't think we'll know for at least a couple of days.
But really, unfortunately, the CMLL people just did not have enough time to shine in this. And I think that's sort of why I was disappointed. It's like, you have good luchas there. You have Hechicero, you had Titán, you had some good people in there. It just did not get off the ground like it should. Really, Lucha Libre works in very certain circumstances, and trying to incorporate it with Japanese strong style, it's
not a winning formula.
It's just not. It has to take a special kind of person. Like Hechicero, I could see doing this, but Hechicero is such a different lucha guy because he's very submission based,
right?
And that really works with Japanese wrestling. So, and Titán as well. I have to put Titán in that list, because he does work in Japan regularly. Yeah. So he does change it up slightly when he's there. Right. And El Desperado did his excursion in Mexico. Yep. Actually, a lot of people did it. Hell, Los Ingobernables de Japón, that whole thing was based on Los Ingobernables, which was a faction in CMLL. Yeah. So, there we go. This was a bad, whatever the fuck this was.
I don't know.
It was 5 minutes of slapping. And I wanted to watch this match for this because they just slapped and did that and hooray. And I'm like, this was such a waste of time. Hiroshi Tanahashi is retiring. This is your ace. He came out of the dark ages of New Japan like 20 years ago. Right. And you have him here playing patty cake with a guy who fucked you over 3 times. Right. 3.
Right. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Why are you doing it here? Do something different. Do Hiroshi Tanahashi versus somebody else. Right. How about put over a younger talent? Yep. Doesn't have to be Evil, because Evil's already main event dude. He's fine. I mean, I think Evil should be the person to retire Tanahashi. Evil's probably going to. But at least have him face like Gabe Kidd or something. That'd been cool.
Not Shibata.
Not Shibata. But Shibata shouldn't have fucking been there in the first place.
No.
He made that weird love letter to Tony Khan. It was fucking weird. Do you remember that? He's like, I would like lay down my life to Tony Khan. I'm like, what are you doing?
This is he is a business executive.
Do you like?
He is a business executive who is worth like 20 times your salary.
Right.
I was like, dude, let's like calm down.
From
here.
Daddy's money.
From Daddy's
Remember,
money.
Daddy is signing the paycheck.
Yes, Daddy is.
Daddy.
So here we go, Mercedes Hogan with her third fucking title.
Ugh, this match just went over like a wet fart in church, and it was just not good. The dancing thing that they did at the one show was an embarrassment to wrestling. Mina Shirakawa is super incredibly attractive, and it's just so weird that she's almost fucking 40.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Triple H and William Regal are going to be in her DMs here.
It's trying to sign her.
Yeah.
Only
trying to sign her.
Because obviously look at Julia. She's doing quite well.
Yeah.
But yes, she lost the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion, but there were 2 belts. I'm going to assume they are both a representation of this Undisputed Women's Champion, because now Mercedes is going to have 4 belts, but 3 actual champions.
I don't get it. Why? So again, this is probably Mercedes booking herself because
She can.
And she's being paid $15 million a year to, quote, entertain the crowd, which, I mean, what is this?
The numbers are not reflecting it. The numbers aren't reflecting it, you dumb bitch. And also, once again, your reaction online, that's going to follow your reputation if you think WWE is going to probably...
WWE doesn't want her back.
Also, they're not going to pay you $15 million
No,
a year because you're not a draw.
Right.
You're just
not.
You're just fap fodder for people who can't get pussy. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Same thing with Mina Shirakawa, but at least Mina Shirakawa is attractive.
Right, that's true.
So this was part of the outfit that Hiromu Takahashi wore during his entrance. And there was like this little cutout where he like showed his face all happy. I'm like, dude, are you wrestling or are you selling me tacos? You know, like a little taco costume. Yeah. It looked silly.
It looked silly. Yes, it did.
It looked silly.
It was quite silly.
It looked trippy and weird. Now, if there were like a bunch of them coming out with him, it's like, oh, it's like a little parade. Oh, that's cute. It just came out alone looking like a weirdo. It's just weird. But he's such a good wrestler.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, God damn it, he is so different and I love it. This Hiromu's awesome, but this is just not it. I like the little outfit with all the eyeballs. That was a really cool one. So 2 things here. I couldn't find a good picture of it for some reason. But the Young Bucks were dressed as lesbians. I have no idea why, but one of them, I swear to God, was wearing a pearl necklace.
And why did they have to win?
Well, exactly. Why? This would have been a really good time for Hiromu and for Tetsuya to win. That would have been really freaking cool.
Yeah, that would have increased that tension that's building up there. But no, we had the Hung Bucks.
Yep. The only thing, it's like, this is their first match back since pretty much walking out of AEW.
Yeah.
After losing the tag team champions.
Yeah.
The only thing that will make this even remotely okay is if the Young Bucks stay in Japan for a while.
Yeah.
You give them a couple of months there with the belts. I'm going to assume that's what they're doing.
I'm thinking that way too.
If they do that, then fine. Then okay, that's fine. The Young Bucks are popular in New Japan.
Yeah.
They probably do sell tickets
there
for their appearance, so I'm going to give them that.
Yes.
But
I'm thinking that as well.
But if they start coming back with the belts and doing shit on television here, you're going to ruin it.
I mean, they're not involved in any major storylines, so it doesn't matter to us.
Nope. And they should drop the belts to Tetsuya and Hiromu because that would be really cool.
Yep, that would be the only logical answer.
Yep,
anyways.
Exactly. That was it for me.
That's
it. Wrestle Dynasty was fine, but man, it had big shoes to fill when it came to follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It was fine. It was passable. AEW pay-per-views tend to be passable, especially considering their shows are just god-awful pieces of trash.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I've got too.
Yep.
Next week.
No match this week. Send me matches. I need matches. Don't send New Japan matches. They are weird about that. But send me anything in Mexico, Indies. Just have a good quality. If it's less than 10 minutes, it's fine. But don't make it like a 20-minute snore fest, please. If it's like a dumb gimmick, we're okay with like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. That's fine. But there we go. Just send me matches. Next week, I don't think we have a pay-per-view.
I don't think we have one either.
So we're going to be talking about a very specific wrestler for a very specific reason.
Okay.
The Chasen guy.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to talk about him. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think you guys like it.
Yes.
But that was what we will do next
He's coming up quite a bit in pop culture recently.
He is. So I think we should probably talk about him. But yes, that's what we'll be doing next week. Join us for that. And as always, be
majestic.